Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm Luca Lampariello from lucalampariello.com, and I'm a language coach who helps people learn foreign languages better, faster, and with more joy. And now onto the content of the video itself. One of the best things that you can do when it comes to language learning is fundamentally to learn through comprehensible content, meaning, simply put, content that you can understand. There's a lot of content out there on the internet, but a lot of this content is just in the language without any grammar explanations or any translation. So for example, if you're looking for anything on Wikipedia, and here you have an example of Napoleone Bonaparte, of Napoleon in Italian, you can see that this text is entirely in Italian. So if you're a beginner or even an intermediate learner, it might be tough to understand the every nook and cranny of the text itself. So how do you make the incomprehensible or partially incomprehensible comprehensible? Here's one tool or a couple of tools I want to show you today that are going to do just that. Let's start with Echo Moskvy, which is a website. It's a radio station based in Moscow, and I went directly to the session here, the interview sessions that you can find here once you put the URL. So here you have the interview, top 10 interviews, and I selected Kod Dostupa, which I always watch. Again, you don't need to speak Russian, you don't need to be learning Russian. This is just an example of how to transform the incomprehensible into comprehensible. You can apply it to any text on the internet. I will show you in a second how to do that also with Chinese, which has an extra twist to it. Let's put it this way. So here you can see that you can read the text, you can listen to it, you can even download it, you can watch it if you want to. But let's suppose that you have the audio and you have the text. Now, for those who have even an intermediate level, this text is going to be difficult because the lady who talks here, she just throws jokes and the language is complex. I would say this is content aimed at native speakers. But first of all, you have the text. And then what you can do in order to transform this text and make the incomprehensible comprehensible is the following. Let's suppose that I'm going to, right now, I'm going to select a part of the text. I could select all of it, but just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to select a part of it. And take a look at what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to double click, and then I'm just going to click on Im Translator, which is a Google Chrome extension that you can easily find and add to your Google bar, and then I'm going to select inline translation, translate selection to English, and tada, as you can see, this Chrome extension is going to translate the text into English or any other language that you can select. You just have to manually set up the translation stuff. It's relatively easy. You can find tutorials on the internet. So basically, once you have this, as you can see, this Chrome extension translates the text in your target language, which is Russian, into English or any language that you know well. And when you have this, you can do a number of things. You can listen to the text, for example, in Russian while you're reading it in English first, or you can listen to the text in Russian while reading it in Russian. You can check every line. You can even read the entire text in English first to get a sense of it, to understand what this is all about, and then just listen to the text in Russian. So you can really experiment. Once you have a text, a bilingual text in your target language and your native language or a language you know well, you have the audio, possibly even the video, then you can do all sorts of things with it, and this is exciting. Now let me show you another thing that you can do. Let's suppose now that you have the problem of also reading the text. Here you don't have the problem of reading this text, because once you learn how to read Cyrillic, this is relatively straightforward. But with Chinese, you have Chinese characters. So if you want to make your life easier and transform this into comprehensible content, let me click on one random piece of news, and as you can see here, you have the text in Chinese. So what you can do is you can select the text, for example, and you can choose to translate a part of it again here into English. So as you can see, the text now has two versions, has the part in Chinese and the part in English, but you can also do something else. I have here Annotate Pinyin. So this is a website which is called Chinese Annotate or Chinese Annotation, and it allows you to basically create any text that you have here. You can put it directly into this box and it transforms it into Pinyin. And on top of that, as you can see here, you also have the explanation of each and every part. It is just mind-blowing. And I have made sure that now that you can bookmark it so that basically you have it here on the browser and you just need to click just once and ta-da, look at this. So you have the text with the Chinese characters, you have the text where you can just hover every single part and it gives you the explanation, plus you have the pinyin, plus you have the translation, and then you can decide if you go here, you can just print it. And this is comprehensible input at its best. This is just mind-blowing. I wanted to, first of all, I wanted to say I truly hope that this is going to be useful for you. Remember that if you can minimize the friction of understanding texts, that's what you have to aim for, because otherwise it takes more and more time. The first thing that you have to do is just to try to understand the text as soon as possible. And the second thing that I wanted to say is that I wanted to personally thank Luca Toma. Luca Toma is a great friend of mine who every now and then, actually quite often, comes up with not only with great resources, but also with very creative ways of using them. I'm going to put a link in the description box relating to his website. He has a website in which he coaches people to learn Japanese. He's I think one of the best coaches in the world when it comes to Japanese, and you should definitely check his website. And he has amazing pieces of advice. Here is his website, just in case you want to check it. But again, I'm just going to put a link in the description box, and you can find a lot of interesting content. You can see here the testimonials. And you should definitely check these articles because they're very well done, and they go very much into depth about not only comprehensible content, but also going through step-by-step processes of understanding and dissecting the amazing Japanese language. So with that in mind, thanks. Having said that, thanks a bunch. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you soon. Bye, and happy language learning.